She was a strange prisoner. While everyone else was sitting around, relaxing and chatting, she was relentlessly working out. Even in a pouring rain, she'd stick to her daily 20-kilometer run. Even when she was cooking, she'd be doing arm exercises. She wasn't doing this out of self-discipline or to break out. No, she was doing it for revenge. The betrayal 6 months prior, she and her husband were on a vacation at sea. But when she woke up, her husband had mysteriously vanished. All that was left were a lot of bloodstains and a sharp knife. That's when the Coast Guard arrived. Since it was just her and her husband on the boat, Daisy was taken in as the prime suspect. She hired a lawyer to defend her, who told her the police had found a high-value insurance policy, and Daisy was the beneficiary. On top of that, the police also had a recording of her husband calling for help. While he didn't name an attacker, all the evidence pointed to Daisy having killed him. Before going to jail, she entrusted her son to a friend's care, giving him a sum of money for support. However, not long after, her friend also mysteriously disappeared. Daisy worked hard to track him down and finally re-established contact. She urgently asked him why he'd suddenly vanished, but her friend seemed unsure how to answer. Daisy then asked to speak with her son, and suddenly her son called out, "Dad!" It turned out Daisy's husband wasn't dead. When he heard Daisy was on the phone, he immediately hung up. In that instant, Daisy understood everything. This whole thing was a conspiracy between her husband and her friend. They hadn't just swindled the insurance payout. They had also taken her only son, leaving her to take the fall. During one of her work assignments, a fellow inmate who used to be a lawyer told her about the concept of double jeopardy. The law wouldn't allow someone to be tried twice for the same crime. This meant that if Daisy were to genuinely kill her husband later, she wouldn't be convicted again. Daisy had an epiphany. From that day on, she began training like crazy, all with the goal of getting out and getting her revenge on her husband. At the same time, she actively participated in prison labor, eagerly volunteering for all the dirty and difficult jobs. 10 years flew by. Daisy earned a chance at parole due to her good behavior. Her top priority now was to find out where her husband was hiding. So she went to the school where her friend used to work, but the principal refused to give her any information. That night, Daisy returned to the school, sneaking into the archives to find her friend's records. But just as she got her hands on the documents, a patrolling police officer spotted her. She quickly scrambled out of a window. After a frantic chase, she was eventually caught by the police. Since she had committed another offense while on parole, the sheriff was preparing to send her back to prison. Daisy insisted she was innocent, but the sheriff didn't believe her, as every prisoner always claimed the same thing. On the way, he pulled over and secured Daisy to the car, planning to grab a coffee. Unexpectedly, he forgot to take the car keys out of the ignition, which gave Daisy the perfect opportunity to make her escape.